But let's go back to some Star Wars drama. This video was recommended to me from this JJ Plagiarisms channel. He made this video called Analyzing Evil. Alex from Star Wars Explained.
No, Star Wars.
Well, that whole thing's been absolutely insane. You all watch Star Wars Theories videos?
Yes.
And him sort of releasing some receipts and everything. Like, these guys are absolutely crazy. All they want is views and subs and access.
Well, my favorite takeaway from this was that Alex from Star Wars Explained was so upset about Star Wars Theories views that he would wake up with night sweats
he couldn't even get
freaking out.
Yeah.
And he had to be comforted by his wife Molly.
Who the hell is admitting this shit? Like,
he told Star Wars Theory about it.
It's like you see those memes that say like
it's probably thinking like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It says like you'd have to waterboard me to admit to doing that. Like, who the fuck admits that?
Yeah, he's a weird one.
Yeah,
I didn't watch this. I thought it'd be interesting, and if we like it, he did one on Molly too.
The 9th rip-off episode of Analyzing Evil, featuring Alex.
Oh, let's go back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 9th rip-off episode of Analyzing Evil, featuring Alex Damon from Star Wars Explained.
Look, I just want to point out, so he's in the thumbnail. This is the guy in the Jabba the Hutt slave outfit with his wife.
He's
his
checking
Jabba.
Chubby out over there. Look at him.
I just wanted to point out his shirt says princess. What is that?
As I just said, he's fucking checking out Chubby Boy over there. He's a chubby chaser. Look at him.
He likes bears.
Exactly.
See, I reckon Molly
would be hitting on you right now.
I reckon Molly isn't his wife. I reckon Molly's his sister. They look too similar to.
That's the rumor that keeps going around.
Here's a legit question.
Yeah.
Cuckold relationship.
That's why they've got the same last name.
I'm not commenting on that, Flash.
Do you think that she perhaps brings bulls into the relationship, and he's maybe into watching that or preparing the man? That could be a thing that he likes to do as well.
An example of what happens when you sell any dignity, honesty, and integrity for connections to the white slavers. Today,
I forgot,
we
Sean,
will
you know
analyze Alex
someone that's into
Damon
cucking
and
as
rip
well.
his practices
That's why I'm
apart.
not commenting.
Alex Damon started his channel Star Wars Explained in November of 2014, originally as Star Wars Minute, and uploaded his first video in January of
Should've called it
2015
Star Wars
in the
Very
lead up to The
Plain.
Force Awakens. And I can say right off the bat that he is the most uninspired Star Wars channel I've ever seen. Any and all passion was traded for quick and cheap minute-long videos that teach you surface-level Star Wars lore from X Medium. The main thing that sets...
Actually, I don't see a problem with what he's doing. Like, I think he's just creating a demand there.
There's a market for that kind of content.
Yeah.
Alex apart from most Disney shills is that he's actually read an incredible amount of pre-existing source material from the expanded universe, unlike most who refuse to read it, and pass it off as 90% garbage or whatever other stance exists online. But he sure as shit does nothing to break that perception. At first glance, it seems like my stance that those who do their homework are less likely to enjoy the Disney Star Wars content is wrong. But here's the thing. Alex Damon is, without exaggeration, paid by Disney to promote their stuff. As an
And there's actually evidence of this. Like, did you see them posting their gift basket the other day? Which was such a dumb move.
After everything that's been being said about these people, they go and post and say, "Oh, thank you, Star Wars, for sending us this Star Wars Lego gift basket."
It was like a $300, $400 gift basket because it had the giant Millennium Falcon, the new black one. That's like a $200. I haven't looked it up, but I guarantee you, I bet you it's like $200. Let me look. I'm gonna look it up right now.
It's from the new Lego movie or Lego show that they're doing, the Black Millennium Falcon. And then they got another Lego set. They got a Jar Jar Lego blanket that Molly uses.
$179. So I was pretty close.
Sleeps.
$179.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know why you would want that color over like the traditional. I guess it's just a reason for you to like a fanatic to rebuy it, right?
Influencer, he sided with the white slavers right off the bat, and as someone who watched a lot of his novel reviews, I struggled to find a negative review of any of the Disney canon novels.
Everything is positive. Nothing gets a bad review, which is pretty telling.
He even thought Jedi Battle Scars was good, a novel that was ridiculed by me and absolutely everyone else on the planet. Granted, I have not watched all of them, but even if you watch his videos on the more mainstream stuff like The Mandalorian, any problems he admits he always brushes off.
Having Kane meet up with a probe droid was a cool touch. Not exactly inconspicuous, but whatever. I thought it was cool.
He's never critical.
What are you going to say, Ryan?
It's constantly like that with this guy. If he's got a problem with something, it's complete brush off. He doesn't go into any depth or any detail into why he has a problem with it. He just brushes it off and says, but I still like it.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, he's an NPC.
I believe in Kathy. I believe in Kathy.
No,
Full of
NPC's
anything.
just chill.
And
It's just chilling at the top of.
Yeah,
He's
but
a good company man.
Do you think that people like that would have it would be more interesting to put them into an environment where they're not talking Star Wars and see if they hold the same level of positivity through all of it? Some people are just like that. Obviously, if they're getting gift baskets, that can't be relied upon. But there is such a thing as toxic positivity.
There's pictures of them. Like so in the more recent Acolyte really like they get flown out and shit to all kinds of stuff. But like recently before the Acolyte, I think it was before like right when the Acolyte dropped. There was a picture of all these shills. There was another guy in there's Kyle Katarn.
Did he go to the Star Wars hotel? I'm assuming
I guarantee you he probably did.
Think so, yeah.
There's no way they didn't get access.
I wonder if
to
he's
it.
like, it was all cool though.
Ooh, I wonder if that's
It's $400 a minute, but that's cool.
Is it? Did they review the Star Wars hotel chat? Can anyone find out if that's a thing?
It's to the point where you can tell it's not a love of Star Wars. It's just him always finding something nice to say about X content. It makes him one of the most boring channels in the Star Wars YouTube space. His reviews are extremely casual and lack any passion whatsoever. The problem I find with him is that making daily videos harms his capability to make quality videos. He is the definition of quantity over quality at its extreme. It's worth noting on top of that he utterly fails to explain Star Wars in the slightest. Despite reading an incredible amount of source material from both the EU and Disney, he's incredibly ignorant to the themes and symbolism of Star Wars. As I've pointed out countless times, training is an absolute requirement to use the Force. I watched a bunch of his videos about Rey, and he doesn't ever discuss the issue of Rey in detail, how she just believed in the Force and whatnot. He always just mentions things in passing. Like that detail from The Last Jedi novelization that Rey downloaded all of Kylo Ren's training. But you bet he doesn't.
And that's true.
Yeah.
She did. Like she's a perfect Mary Sue example. Because she just literally learned how to do shit on the fly. Remember in the first one when she's like, I know how to fly the Millennium Falcon.
Well, in the novelization, they did state that that's how she gained all her power, was downloading it from Kylo Ren while he was torturing her. So she just downloaded all the training, like, like the Matrix, I need to learn how to fly this helicopter. Yes.
I know Kung Fu.
I was going to say, it's Chuck.
Yeah. But I do find it funny that they've got a channel called Star Wars Explained and they never happen to explain anything.
It's cool. That's the explanation.
Well, they got real butthurt because Star Wars Theory started putting out Star Wars Explained videos. Well, and he's not wrong when he says that they probably benefited from his videos because they probably popped up with it. Yeah.
100%.
But in their minds, they should be the ones on top, not him. That's why they wanted to get rid of him.
Because they're the good guys. They're heckin' wholesome.
It makes me wonder whether or not, because, we all saw that picture of them hanging out with Dave Filoni and Leslie Headland before the Acolyte came out. It makes me wonder whether or not this was coordinated from all the way back then.
I guarantee you
because
that
Lucasfilm hates Star Wars theory, despite the fact that he has said some positive stuff about some of the stuff that they've actually done. He's starting to sort of flip on that a little bit. His takes on Dave Filoni and a few other people over there at Lucasfilm. But despite that, you remember when he started crying about the Luke Skywalker thing, and then Pablo Hidalgo comes out and says emotions aren't for sharing. And
yeah, it was really strange because you think you would want all your fans having that reaction.
Yeah.
Like, why are you making fun of that? Like, that's a passionate fan, like having tears of joy over your product. Like, why would you mock that? This is the state of Star Wars, where we mock hardcore fans that love our shit. Well, fuck you. Like, that's the kind of message you're sending people. That's an awful message. It's still wild to me that this company has been left pretty much intact with no real heavy changes since all of this Disney Star Wars stuff kicked off, and they've lost so much. It's just crazy to me. She has to know some kind of dirty secret on Bob Iger or something, because it really just makes no sense. No sense.
I wouldn't go so far to say it's been intact. I know what you're getting at, but if anything, it's lent.
Who have they fired?
It keeps pushing more and more away from what real Star Wars is.
But I mean, executive-wise, who have they fired? Like Lucasfilm's chain of command has been intact since all this started. I don't think have they gotten rid of anybody other than directors that don't work good with
directors that they have creative differences with.
Yeah,
Kiri Hart.
Who?
Kiri Hart. They got rid of.
What was she a part of in there?
She was one of the executives who basically took the fall for the movies. I think it was after Solo, if I remember right.
Okay, they had to get rid of somebody then.
Yeah, either Solo or one of the other disasters.
Who was that?
So one person has been fired from this disastrous regime.
But I don't remember. Culture, if you're in the chat, remind me.
Who was that chick that Kathleen Kennedy was taking under her wing to sort of be that takeover person or whatever? Do you remember, Tom?
I'm trying to remember her name. She's still there.
She's still there? You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember her damn name.
So
they'll get rid of her real quick.
Her name is starts with a K, and then I think her last name starts with like a B. Trying to think of it.
What's going to be great is when she leaves and she appoints her successor, and I bet you that person gets 1 year, and then they get rid of him. Whoever it'll be a her. But let's not kid ourselves.
Why do you think a year?
Well, this person isn't going to know where the bodies are buried like her. I think they're anxious to probably get away from this shit, but they won't get rid of her.
Even Marvel got rid of Victoria Alonso, and
they got rid of a lot of people.
There's Lin-Wen Brannon. There's Carrie Beck. That's the other one I was trying to think of.
That's not the one that I was thinking of.
Yeah,
I think Marvel is trying to roll the car back a little bit. It seems that way. Chris Gore said they fired. I guess he was saying they fired a lot of their activists.
Yeah, I was hearing similar shit. Some other people reporting similar stuff, and then Chris and them reported on it too. I wouldn't be surprised if at least most of Disney doesn't start to turn some things around. And even Kevin Feige himself admitted that they had made mistakes. Now, we know we got to get through these shit movies to get to anything plausibly decent, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get anything good. But we'll have to wait and see with Fantastic Four, I guess.
I'm actually curious to see what happens.
Surface level looking at Fantastic Four looks good. Like, I like the idea of where they're at, that time period. What I really like is the way the Thing looks, because he looks like old Kirby Thing. Like, the eyebrows are there. I'm actually kind of optimistic about it. We'll see. I don't have high hopes, but
it's just too little too late in a lot of ways. You can't go back. You can't go back to what they had in phase 2 and 3. You can't recapture that same magic.
No.
But it's the same thing with Star Wars. They've destroyed it so much. This is the thing that I was about to say is, even if Kathleen Kennedy was to be fired or leave or whatever happens, it's been infiltrated, and the people that she's been bringing in over the past decade has culminated this anti-Star Wars over there at Lucasfilm. So no matter who they put in place, like Kathleen Kennedy is going to try and make sure that her legacy of Lucasfilm and her legacy of Star Wars continues. You know, I have no doubt of that.
Oh, and you were muted, Sean? I just saw that.
For a while I was. I didn't realize I was.
Oh, no.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
All right, let's kick it back on.
Explain how that's possible and how that works. He doesn't explain anything, and I think it's safe to say that he doesn't care much for the universe and consistency. It all fits together to give out a lazy, uncaring Star Wars channel.
Well, none of
He's proven to be a sellout, given he commonly gets interviews with people associated with
Sam Maggs. Wow.
Oh, he gets all the interviews. He gets all the access to interview people.
It's coordinated.
Gets access to shows and movies and games.
Oh yeah, big
before
time.
They get released.
He just had the guy from Beyond the what is it? Rebuild the Galaxy or whatever, the Lego movie.
Yeah.
Like he just had one of the voice actors for that on his channel, Jedi Bob. And then 2 days before that, he posted an interview with Charles Soule. It's like, you're not helping your case here, pal.
Not at all.
But I want to watch this actually because Sam Maggs is quite the piece of work. If you don't know who this person is, I highly suggest going down that rabbit hole.
Star Wars, in particular the authors of all the Disney canon novels. He also commonly gets sponsors from Disney and early access to their shit. So Alex is completely unreliable in his reviews. Since we know someone overly critical of Disney Star Wars would never be given the benefits Alex has, it's safe to say that he has zero integrity and honesty. Everything he says in his videos are insincere, down to the phony smile he gives in all of his videos. Why he has a following at all, given he has no passion, no honesty, and a quantity over quality mentality is one of life's greatest mysteries. I imagine it's due to him trying his hardest to not be controversial, but that's a completely futile goal. In conforming to everything Disney does, you're going to be seen as a complete sellout, because
what is this game he's playing, Rhino?
It's like a Candy Crush, it looks like.
Candy. This is
like
how you know where Star Wars is now. Star Wars Candy Crush. They really are trying to go. See, this is them going for female gamers right here.
It's like when Marvel was doing the lifestyle brand stuff.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you are. And on top of the fact that your YouTube name is extremely misleading, you come out as one of, if not the worst Star Wars channel on YouTube. Because Alex always tries his hardest to remain uncontroversial, and he'll never discuss any legitimate problems that pop up. As I pointed out in previous episodes, pretty much all of the
Did you see Jeremy, Geeks and Gamers, put out a video covering, I can't remember the two guys' names. I have to say it like this because I can't remember their names, but there were two black guys. And apparently the reason why Star Wars Explained blocked one of the dudes, it got revealed that it was because he can't be seen having an argument with a black dude because he might be called racist.
It was Kyle who did that.
Oh, sorry, it was Kyle Katan.
Okay,
sorry,
so
my mistake.
Kyle blocked... he's a cool guy. Is Kaido?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Kaido, One Piece fan. I'm thinking. He got blocked by Kyle because he didn't want to be seen arguing with a black man.
Yeah, because he might be called a racist.
Yeah.
I mean, if you seriously can't sit there and have let's say a heated discussion about your takes on a show or a movie or the state of Star Wars or whatever the case may be, because of the color of that person's skin, you're a racist.
Oh, it's Kaido, not Kaido.
He wants to protect his cash cow. That's more than anything here. He wants to protect the paycheck, and avoiding being as milquetoast as possible allows that for it to happen. He's trying to be the perfect company man.
I get that, but he could have still done that without being a slimy piece of shit and trying to take.
No, you can't be a company man and not be a slimy piece of shit.
That's true, it's also hard for anybody to give you the benefit of the doubt if it looks like you're on the payroll, right? Like, I'm a lot more lenient with a lot of the movies that we go and see than a lot of people are, right? Like, I fully admit it's like I'm a lot easier to please at the movie theater than most people. But if people there are, if you're working on behalf of the studios, no one's going to assume it's just because your tastes are like that. They're going to assume that you're doing it because they can't be seen giving a negative review. It's insane.
Yeah.
Presentation in Disney Star Wars is completely insincere and is only done to get people on their side who can't think critically. And Alex is the definition of this demographic. Despite the fact that Disney literally filmed near a Chinese concentration camp, Alex
They fucking thank them in the credits too, by the way.
Yeah. I
Isn't
forgot
that wild?
about that.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
They thank the concentration camp in the credits.
Well, it doesn't say concentration camp,
no,
but they,
of course it doesn't.
Well, it's very much like the James Bond movie, the Living Daylights, where we dedicate this movie to the Mujahideen. It's like, you mean the future Al Qaeda? That turned out well.
Oh, Hayden 75 with $50. Good to see you, Hayden. This is Hail Flashcast. Awesome to see you here, Brett. I have recently joined the GCA and would like to invite you guys to join us on a Wednesday for our late and gay show with the GCA at 8:30 EST. We'd love to have you. Shots. Hail the 199. I'll take a shot for you, Hayden. Send me when you launch that, when you do your show, hit me up and I'll retweet it for you, brother. I'll try and help you out. Just make sure you remind me and send it to me in Twitter. I'm pretty sure we follow each other, so you should be able to slide into my DMs pretty easy. Let me go get a shot. I'll be right back.
You should have hit play before you said I'll be right back.
Well, Flash is gone. Let's start building
So
towers,
those concentration camps, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can start talking about those. You know,
Wait, what movie was it where they thanked the Mujahideen? Was that you said?
So it's the Living Daylights. It's the one where.
So we were helping them, to get rid of Russia, right? So it's fine.
Yeah, but it's like Rambo 3 was the same one as well. Rambo 3 also did a shout out to the Mujahideen. It's like, yeah.
Rhino's drinking that hard stuff.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, Dark Intelligence. It was the live action Mulan where they kept the Uyghurs out of the way.
Feels like a lifetime ago. It was like 3 years
Cheers.
ago. It's just like when they have the either the Democrat or Republican conventions, they bust all the hobos out of town. Yep. They clean the streets.
Not even just political stuff. It's when they do the Emmys or the Oscars. They have to bust them out of the area too to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Critically stands by the company. Even though he was perfectly willing to call out Quantic Dreams and cease coverage on Star Wars Eclipse for a similar controversy. I also recall him going out of his way to defend the retcon mess that was Obi-Wan Kenobi by making a surface-level quick and cheap video. Ignoring all the interviews where the writers themselves admitted they didn't care about continuity.
For a second, I just want to point out that these people, like the Star Wars Explained guys, Molly and Alex, and even some of the Kyle Katans, the Disney shells, what did they do when Gina Carano got fired? What did they do with like anything that's happened that's been controversial? They jump on that bandwagon, right? The whole canceling of or demonetization recently, that targeted harassment campaign that they put on, and then they come out and start backpedaling because, they start getting called out for doing exactly what they think that these people are doing.
What do you mean by these people?
These people, Disney shills. That's what I mean by these people.
Australian police, like,
they're gonna be knocking at you. Hey, mate.
Door.
Saw it posted on FlashCast.
Oh, send it. You have a license for that.
You need a license for that, mate.
One of the most clueless defense videos ever that was very much going over technicalities. I mean, he doesn't really tackle other people's opinions in general. As I said, even if he himself expresses a problem with something in an episode of whatever Disney Plus show, he brushes it off and moves on to the next thing. Even by his own standards, if he decided to be critical, the Disney Plus shows he watches would be lesser in quality, and he knows being too critical or honest would result in him not getting easy interviews.
In this interview, I swear, he's sitting there going, I wonder how this is going to help my channel. I wonder if I'm going to be able to get some subs from this, some views from this.
Oh, I was thinking he was looking at his wife for the right opinion.
With Disney Star Wars creators. It's pathetic that just like The Force Awakens, he goes for safe and easy videos, and in the end, gets nothing accomplished. He never goes into the meat of the issue when he defends Disney Star Wars, and commonly pretends said issues don't exist. And again, as someone who said he grew up with the Expanded Universe novels, he should absolutely know better. I've always wondered why there are people like this. Not only does he shill for Disney, no matter how horrible they get, and just...
Wait, did he shill for that?
I'd like to ask...
Why there are people like this. Not only does he shill for Disney, no matter how horrible...
Did he actually defend this? What the fuck? We got to watch that video if that's real. So you guys know what this was? Were they like trying to use?
Yeah.
Was it the streaming service?
Yeah. The husband signed up for Disney Plus for the Disney Plus trial in 2019. So his wife died of an allergic reaction at a restaurant that was on Disney property, and then they tried to use his agreement to the terms and conditions of Disney Plus as a reason why he could not sue them.
Yes.
How long ago did that story drop? It was only, what, a couple of months ago, right?
Yeah,
like it Friday, 16th.
Yeah. Yeah. I will give Disney credit. It's very creative to do this.
Can you find that video, Rhino?
I'm looking.
I would love to watch that.
They ended up walking that back too. Disney, after they finally got called out by a bunch of it, they walked it back. So
yeah, but they put it in a court filing. That was the funny part.
Yeah.
They say August 16th is when around this time. So there would be a video around that time period.
Well, it was also, I remember Clownfish TV did a video like a month, or like they got to it like a month before everyone else and covered it, like way before.
Horrible they get, and just ignore everything they do and only focuses on any positives he can find. But why does he do this? I've heard the potential reason why is because of his sister/wife Molly. Molly, from what I hear, is a complete and utter negative influence on
his sister/wife. It's so good. It's so true.
His handler.
It is. I think it is.
him, and he's such a slave to her. But regardless if that's the case, an inability to think for yourself is not an excuse. So as much as Alex influences other people to not think whatsoever, Alex himself is a sheep to higher powers, such as Disney and his sister/wife. Maybe I'll do a video about Molly as well. It's frankly pathetic that Alex is such a chump that he ended up marrying his own sister, because dating options were sorely...
That's not true. It's so funny.
Well, it could be, but he's speculating.
I don't think it's his sister now, but it's funny.
Limited for him. It actually unironically...
I'm going to fact check that.
Made me feel a lot better about being a loser, because at least I wasn't desperate enough to marry a direct relative. I also noticed that he doesn't even feign high standards. Watching his full season review of The Acolyte, he said it was a 7 out of 10 for him, which compared to what Star Wars used to be, that's pathetic. Star Wars is meant to be the gold standard for any fan. It's how we invest in it so much, because it was extremely remarkable, but a decent score isn't an achievement whatsoever. Star Wars cannot be sustained by being passably decent, assuming The Acolyte was even decent in the first place.
But also,
I think this ties into Alex's...
Also, too, the thing is as he mentioned earlier in this video, he says that Alex has been like a fan of the expanded universe, was before Disney took it over, and, you know, was willing to maybe give it a shot, all of that sort of thing. If you ever liked something like the book Darth Plagueis and then you watch The Acolyte, you should have a problem with it as a Star Wars fan. Like, you know, it's actually quite simple. in that sense, that if you've read parts of the expanded universe, if you've read the continuation of the story in the Thrawn trilogy, and even moving even further forward than that, and you still praise the sequels, and you still praise things like some of the decisions that they made for the Mandalorian, or even going back to Obi-Wan Kenobi or Boba Fett or whatever it is that they've done, and you've read any of the expanded universe, as a Star Wars fan, you should probably have a problem with that. I can't find this video. They must have taken it down.
I bet they did. Probably got ratioed into fucking hell.
Yeah. It's not there.
That's why I'm like shocked they would defend, because why? It's such an awful thing to do. And such corporate fuckery, putting something like that in terms of service for streaming.
You know, they still haven't taken down those This Week in Clickbait, though, that they did about Star Wars Theory. I checked that on my stream.
Of course not. That probably got them some views.
Yeah.
Because they're drama videos, and people love drama.
Yeah.
Mentality. In one of his earlier videos, trying to make the case that Lucasfilm cares about the fans, he expressed the mentality that Star Wars will only have something great once in a while, like in Empire Strikes Back, and that it's unrealistic to expect every project to be a masterpiece. The thing is, though, Alex has such pathetically low standards. It's not even that every bit of content that comes out is a 7 out of 10. It's much, much lower, and he always finds...
I noticed in the back there they had, like he has the awesome silver play button. See it where it's like an actual button that sticks out?
Yep.
Yeah, those were the cool ones back when they cared. Now I guess they're really small. I guess they're like... I mean, drastically small.
It's like just the button now rather than the plaque. Yeah.
Well, you were worried that, Alex, Star Wars Theory's got 3.3 million subscribers, got plenty of play buttons. You're never going to get a 1 million play button because you've lost. I think it's now up to 15,000 subscribers in the last week.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they probably could have hit it eventually, but I don't know about it now. Because they had like what, 890,000, something like that. What are they at now?
They are currently sitting at 808,000.
Oh, they're going to drop under 800. They could have hit that eventually and got that big play button, but not
Our
anymore.
trip to Lucasfilm and the Acolyte premiere.
Is that a video?
One of their videos, yep. Oh, they're walking around with Dave Filoni. You want to watch a little bit of that? It's 48 minutes long. We're not going to watch it.
No. Let's finish this one up.
That comes out is a 7 out of 10. It's much, much lower, and he always finds a reason to praise it, even if it's horrible. It really makes you think if he was actually struggling to find something nice to say about some of the worst content Disney has churned out. It may actually be why his praises and criticisms are never fully in-depth and conform to the name of his channel to explain anything. He doesn't ever take a hardline stance, and again, it makes his content very uninteresting and boring, because there is zero passion to be found in his videos. Quantity over quality is the name of the game, and it's basically how I can sum up Alex Damon in a nutshell. Since Alex posts low quality, low effort videos pretty much every day, he's relying on the fact that one of his videos every so often will do well, and that it will sustain him. Taking an uncontroversial approach to Disney Star Wars will also provide him with a lot of benefits, such as interviews with actors and authors. His expression never changes.
Which he did have. He got one from that guy with the upcoming Lego thing.
He has a fake smile in all of his videos and speaks directly to the camera in an artificial way. It's not surprising that one of the biggest Disney shills lacks any care for his own content. Star Wars Explained is only a step below Disney Star Wars. He doesn't have as many resources or that big of a following, but he still found a way into the cesspit of garbage. Garbage that can very much be classified as evil. Thank you for listening to this episode of Analyzing Evil. What do you think of Alex Damon? Leave your...
What do I think of him? I think he's fucking piece of shit.